Oh shit! I gotta turn the TV off. Hey, let's try this again. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Wednesday, which means it's time for Boob Tube, and it wouldn't be Boob Tube without my beautiful co-hosts, Casey Carter and Desiree, Desirable Bottom. Yay! Hello, ladies.
Hey.
Hi.
Jason, someone beat you to the punch. Juan Carlos commented before you did, but Jason's back in full-fledged.
Yes, so good to have you back, Jason. And Jason, dare I say, you picked a good day.
We have a surprise.
You picked a good day, Jason.
Did you?
Yeah.
We have a special surprise just for you, Jason.
Somehow we knew deep down inside, we knew you would be here. And not only did we not do it last week, but we were like, ooh, this is great timing. I'm not gonna say. Go ahead, Kari. Do it. Just go ahead, do it. Just do it.
Well, it's been a while, but without further ado, the man behind the curtain, the face, the name, the CEO of EXXXOTICA and EXXXOTICA.tv. Woo! The stash is back. The stash is back.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Sorry, hold on. That one.
Yes.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
It's been a long time.
Hey,
for those of you
ladies.
For those of you that are joining us for the first time or haven't been around as long as some of the other people, this is Jay Handy, the owner, CEO, and the man that makes all these things possible for EXXXOTICA. So you can thank
obviously
him.
up here in the penthouse suite, we have the radiator right here. We have the air conditioning unit, the window air conditioning unit over here.
Hey.
You know, it's hard to live in these ivory towers, but sometimes we just have to get along.
Hey, at least you have those things. There are people, we'd like to take a moment of silence for those that have suffered losses in the wake of Helene and Milton. A lot of people in Florida and North Carolina and other states are suffering tremendous damages and losses. So they would probably really appreciate your ivory tower right now, Jay.
You know what? Come on by. We have plenty of space on the couch.
When we turn the offices into a campground, like what the hell?
We mean that, yes, figuratively.
Who brought s'mores? Why is there a fire in the...
Wait, I have a question here. How do I chat? Can I chat? Do I? Where do I type it into?
If you're on YouTube chat.
Yeah, you gotta
use it. You gotta go to that chat. Okay.
Yeah, you have to do it from another window.
I've never been on this end of the spectrum.
You've never been a guest.
I feel naked. Casey is just holding my fate in her hands with any fart noises or unforeseen circumstances.
That was a scary thought right there.
See, I shouldn't have done it. I got it in your head.
Yes.
Right.
I was like, wait, where are we about to go? Like, you were still talking, and I'm like, oh my God, where are we about to go with this?
So, don't worry. We got time. We'll dig deeper.
Okay, well, if you all have been with us this month, you know at the beginning of the month we had Tayomi Morgan, the resident sexpert, education coordinator for EXXXOTICA, and this week we have the man who makes what she does possible. And he's not been with us, as Kari said, for a while. And first and foremost, Jay, I don't think we could ever say enough how grateful we are for this opportunity, how much we miss you. And let me just say, there's something to be said for not having to actually be a co-host and being able to push all the weird buttons, because I've got everything lined up, but I don't ever remember to hit the buttons to make all the sound effects.
No, let me tell you
when
about.
you think it's all figured out, you have no idea what's going on. Yeah, it's like it can all take a solid lesson anytime. I know. I remember the feeling.
Like the day that she forgot to hit go, we're just sitting here waiting for the magical moment, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, hold on."
Right. Love it.
I like when I go in if I go back to like old YouTube episodes, in the very beginning where it starts playing, the video that we've all seen 1.5 trillion times. Like, it's funny because a lot of times you won't be muted, so you can just hear whatever conversations you guys are having, like behind the things. And I find that the most entertaining part. Like, I'm just like, ooh, what are they going to talk about the 30 seconds before the show?
Really? You can hear us?
Have you ever actually gone back and watched those videos? Because yes, you might think about maybe muting yourself while that video is playing on its way up. If you'll notice, I was suspectly quiet while that was all going on. Because I think I know something here that nobody else knows. So if you want to go back and listen to some conversations, scroll on back to the last episodes of BoobTube. I'd say about the last year, maybe. And we can catch up.
So what had happened was, one day Jay says, "Hey, look, I'm not going to be able to make the show tonight. I have a baseball game for my son." That was the last we saw him. When he realized he could turn over the reins to Casey and let her do controls.
Casey did it once, and I was like, "Well,
score.
My work here is done." It's like when a child turns 18. You're just like, you don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here. Like,
right.
True.
Yeah, well, it has definitely been fun for us. And speaking for myself, I know I look forward to showing up and hanging out with the ladies every Wednesday.
Me too.
Dude, and I miss it. Like, it was funny.
I was gonna say you miss us.
We did it for so long. I mean, this shit was in COVID, man. That was what now feels like 1,000,000 years ago. And it's just it was a way to kind of like pass our time, and like, a way to kind of keep people engaged. And you guys people really probably don't remember, during COVID we started Exotica TV, and we were doing multiple shows a day on things like cooking shows and yoga shows. Sarah J did a yoga thing with us. Like, we had all kinds of different cooking shows. We had old video clips of Exotica stuff. We had interviews. Dan and I did happy hour-ish for every week. And slowly we came out of COVID, and all of those shows kind of started finishing up and being done. And it was really Dan and I with happy hour, and you guys with BoobTube. And of course I was on happy hour, and then I was behind the scenes for BoobTube. And I made a lot of racket behind the scenes, but I was behind the scenes nonetheless. And you guys you still are sticking with it. You're the lone COVID survivors of 2020.
We're the long haulers.
We're the survivors.
But it's awesome. It's been awesome to be able to like hand it off to you guys and let you run with it. I pop on, you see me when I pop on, and cheer you guys on, and then go off to the next thing. I'm also the dad of 2 kids in high school and middle school, and 3 sports, and travel this and ballet that, and and Exotica and 420 and a million other things. So it's been, as much as I miss you guys, it's definitely been nice to be able to kind of, get that. You only get that time for a certain period of time,
Exactly.
Right.
And so
exactly.
soak it. you soak it in as much as you can. And by the way, half of the time I'm like, these fucking kids, like, bring me back to Boob Tube. Jesus Christ. But like now I'm feeling generous, and I will say that I'm glad to be able to spend time doing that stuff. But yeah, no, I do miss you guys, and luckily, I see you guys in all of our orbits, as we continue the year, whether it be at the show or whether it be on here or online or social and whatever. So yeah, no, you guys have done great, and
thank you.
view counts are crushing it. Like, you're doing more than doing with my dumbass behind the controls of that thing. So, you're just walking around bumping into things, clicking on buttons, fart noises. Like, it's like letting a 12-year-old produce a online TV show.
I thought about
let alone a nationwide trade show. Sorry. Okay, yeah, or maybe I'm making a bad. Yeah, people have no faith in me anymore.
I thought about asking to like put together a compilation of like some of the best moments of our past episodes, but almost 5 years, that's a lot of content. And who has time?
You know how much time that would take?
Right.
Like, seriously, you know what you do? Hey, Jason, or anybody else, if you find the funniest parts of past Boob Tubes, to go write the the timestamp of the clip on it. Send it to us. Yes, I would.
Yes. We can create shorts on YouTube. We could just do shorts on YouTube.
4 of us doing 5 hours or 5 years worth of labor ain't gonna happen. Content. But if you just assemble the masses.
Yeah.
So
we're putting you guys to work. So go find. Okay. There's one in specific. Actually, there's 2 in specific that I want you to find. I want you to find Desiree's Chewbacca.
Oh.
Yes, that's classic.
And the Taiwanese.
Epic moment.
Vietnamese.
The Vietnamese. Yeah. And okay, so 3. And the third one is there was a night where all of us had a little bit of drink, and I think Jay had a little 420, and you were so funny. Like, you were just blitzed and spacing out, epic. And it was so funny. Like, oh my god.
Oh, dude. I can't. What's scary about that is I'm like, which time was that? Like, I've gone back.
No, but to Kari's point, there was one time that was more entertaining than others.
Yeah,
I think you had tequila, and then you said you had an.
That's
edible.
What it was.
Yeah, you had a tequila and an edible, and literally, you started out strong, and then all of a sudden, you just like
it took a left turn. Yeah. No, well, I don't know if you know this about tequila, but it tends to do that.
It does.
It starts out like you're like, yeah, I could do this all night. And then you're in the totally opposite direction.
Look, they don't call tequila amnesia for nothing.
Let me tell you, there have been a number of times where I'm like, I should scrub EXXXOTICA.tv. Like, we should take this, like, because I guarantee you, there are so many moments in happy hours, because that show was designed around us getting drunk and like and talking shit at 5 o'clock on a Friday, and like we had so many stars and so many like just musical acts, and like we had little people, big people, short people, tall people, like
all
it
people.
was we had everybody. It was a wild ride, and there were times that like, although I will say, I think I kept it, I think, under locks better because I was watching out for Dan, who was like smoking a fucking pound of weed, just like ripping through an hour, and he doesn't drink at all, so he'd have one drink, and it would be like all of a sudden we're talking about like European snails that only come out at night, and you're like, what, yeah. Anyways, so hey, I heard you guys talk about TV on this show.
Yes.
I have a few very specific ones that I'm gonna be able to chime in on, but I feel like I don't know, I'm here more to find new TV too, because I just honestly I think it's been lacking.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us what you've been watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm way into Penguin. It's a good one. Been pretty entertained by that. The Aaron Hernandez story.
Oh, I just finished watching the last episode.
That shit is not. It's not like it's not a documentary. It's like a real action. Like a dude plays Aaron Hernandez, and they're like, it's basically his story or whatever. Because you know his story. He's had a million documentaries on him at this point. This is like actually like actors playing out. Their whatever. It's on Hulu. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
That I've really dug. Let's see. I found my guilty pleasure is being able to put on the new Unsolved Mysteries in the background and watch that as I like work and do stuff. At first I thought it kind of sucked because without Robert Stack you're nothing. But like, yeah, it's kind of like Forensic Files. It's good to like, it holds your space there, but it doesn't take all your attention. And it doesn't scare me like it did as a kid. I have not watched Power. I've not watched Power 8, the Power 16, the other Power, Ninth Power, Ninth to the other Power.
Well, then watch it when we were all together anyway.
No, I couldn't even tell you.
We watch it. In fact, we just had a season finale. Like, it's done. Series. I mean, series finale. Although there's obviously going to be more. You cut the
head off of it, and 3 more come out. Like it's
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, they're good shows. We like them. Oh my goodness.
What other heavy hitters? I'm sure you dug into the Menendez brothers.
I haven't seen it yet.
I watched a little bit of that, and I forgot how strange
crazy
that story was.
It was because, I mean, listen, I had a birthday somewhat recently. I'm old enough to remember very, very well the Menendez brothers. I mean, dude, when was that? Like 1990, was it? 88?
Yeah.
To 90 or something like that. So like,
yeah.
And then they didn't get tried until 93 or whatever. Are they retrying them now? Has that been confirmed?
It hasn't been confirmed, but it's in the talks of them reducing the sentence with proven, like trying to get it reduced to manslaughter, which means they would get time served, which means that there's a possibility that they could be released.
Wow.
Which the dilemma.
So you didn't watch the Netflix thing with the actors playing the dudes?
Well, that's what I started watching, and I just haven't had a chance to finish it. But like I said, it was. In watching it, you're like, oh yeah, that was some wild shit. Like
the biggest thing is like, were the kids suffering? Were they abused? You know what I mean? And like, I remember back then the overall American sensation, or the response across the country was, these kids are full of shit. Like they're
the consensus was that they did it for money. It was all to get the money. But what they're trying to say now is that they had severe trauma from both parents, not just the father, from both parents, and that their response, was a trauma response. But
the problem was that law enforcement and whomever other experts they had felt like, while they said it was a trauma response, as a trauma response, it didn't line up to whatever the requirements are for it to be a trauma response.
Well, the biggest issue with their case is that it was premeditated. There was physical evidence that documented that they had been planning this for quite some time. And so that was the biggest.
Dude, they went around a week before, shopped for shotguns,
right.
Like,
they wrote it down. There are actual pieces of paper.
Here's my question though. If I'm being abused the way they were, right? Is it that bizarre that I would do something to
arm yourself?
Right.
No, and that's crazy. Well, the other thing that's really interesting, and they don't really dig into it in this series, is their lawyer, the kid's lawyer, or one of their lawyers, I guess, the blonde chick that I forget what her name was. She was a relatively famous name back in the day. But she took a wicked fall from grace, lost everything, ended. I don't know if she's still alive, dead. She's definitely not who she, like she was a suspect character to begin with too. From everything that I've read about it, she could have her own show of like how how fucked up her shit was. So it's just one of those, like, what I hate now is my kids are like, oh, they're innocent. Like, bro, first of all, you're 12. Like, this shit happened, like, how long ago? Like, and it's just it's funny because I want to say it's just manufactured by the new media that they have surrounding it, and how it can, and what it is, and what's trendy to think and not think. But like, then again, that's probably exactly what it was in 1990 when we were looking at it. Like, it was whatever you saw on TV, and
Well, here's the thing. One, we now have social media, so now everybody has the option to chime in. Where back then it was just whatever you saw on the news. The second thing is, we're in a different time of like sensitivity when it comes to certain like mental health and all of that, and I feel like that's probably why the kids are like, they're innocent, because they're like, oh, well, they suffered severe trauma. And it's like,
I saw it on TikTok. He's obviously innocent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
But if TikTok says it's true, then it has to be.
It's true.
Dude,
it's true.
You know what? Yeah. Well, shout out to my son who screwed up and got his iPhone taken away and is now rocking the AT&T flip phone. My family, we have a flip phone of shame with our kids, and so like, they're fucked up.
I gotta write that down.
You pull the fucking SIM card out of the thing, put it into the flip phone of shame, hand it back to him, and you just walk away. It's
wow.
I love it. The flip phone of shame. Like, how do you go to school? You're like, hold up, let me take this call.
Oh, dude, yeah.
The clam.
Yep.
You don't.
Thank you.
But let me say this. I wish I still had one, because hanging up, like, this is one of the trends that's on TikTok, is like hanging up on people is not the same. Because when you were hanging up on people with the clam, you just and call is over. This, you're like, it's not as glamorous.
Yeah. No, the full like snapshot, like, it was very like CSI.
Yeah.
No,
for sure.
So that's that. Now the good thing is, when you get the flip phone of shame, it doesn't have TikTok on it, so
wow,
it's quite a powerful
the punishment
tool.
Isn't the flip phone. The punishment is the lack of TikTok.
Yeah, it guarantees no TikTok. You know what I'm saying?
Really what
you
the
can try and
is.
lock these motherfuckers out of their iPhones with like family protected whatever. Kids have all day to break your system. Like, you have 15 minutes to figure out how to keep them from doing something, and and then like, you're on to the next thing. They're like, I will sit here all day and type in every code and figure out every way. One time they had limits that they were only allowed to be on for an hour or whatever. They learned that if you got to the hour, then you deleted the app, and then you went back into the Apple store and you downloaded the app again, you could go for another hour.
Right, because
every hour
it deletes all the information.
Like a month later, I'm like, wow. These kids haven't sent me a request for like more time in forever. I'm like, and then I look at the usage, I'm like, 6.5 hours. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I don't have time for that shit. The flip phone of shame handles that without me having to worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
I am grateful my kids are too old for that and they handle their own shit. Like, I don't even know that I have the patience for any of that.
Yeah.
The flip phone of shame. That is so awesome.
Dude, I had to write that down.
Our daughter lost her iPhone like a couple years ago, and she had lost something else the week before in the same exact fashion. It was a big to-do, and that was when the flip phone of shame was introduced, and she, had it for like 3 or 4 months, and then it went in the junk drawer. And lately, let's just say my son deserved the flip phone of shame, and he has it. So, yep, there you go. Parenting 101. I should write a book.
And he's lucky to still have a phone.
Right.
See?
Oh, trust me, he hasn't had a phone for about a month. Like he now is getting the phone back, and it's the flip phone of shame. So yeah, it's
okay.
Wow.
I love that,
dude. I would, it sucks to be my kid. Like, dude, you gotta like. I find, you gotta find the best way under their skin, and a flip phone does that. So proud of it.
Okay, wait. I'm sorry. Can I just? I just had this squirrel moment where I was like, "Ooh, I saw something out of the corner of my eye." Okay, so did we all back in the day watch Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I think so. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I haven't really been able to find anything that has kept my interest on whatever I'm watching. So I've done a lot of rewatching lately, and one of the things I went back to was Game of Thrones. And I didn't start watching that until the last season. And I watched all the seasons and then caught up when the last season started and did all of that, right?
Okay.
I started watching it and was like, oh my God, they said so many things in Game of Thrones that pertains to House of Dragons that I'm like, oh, it now all comes together and it now all makes sense. Because, I mean, a lot of the things they talk about, a lot of the names, I mean, we spend so much time talking about the Targaryens in Game of Thrones that I'm like, now when I hear them say it, I'm like, shit, I wasn't really able to appreciate that show until House of Dragons. And so I just had to throw that out there because I'm like, it is a much richer experience watching it now that I've seen the other one.
Why am I so fuzzy? Do I look fuzzy? Or am I just going blind? Hey. All right, there we go. You know what? The problem with rewatching Game of Thrones is that Game of Thrones sucked when it ended. It's like why I would never rewatch Lost.
Oh no,
you know what I mean?
I tried to rewatch that. That was a no.
I'm not gonna put myself through it. Like I just, like I rewatched, the usuals like Sopranos,
Dexter.
Dexter. Oh, you know what's fun? Here's an interesting Dexter fact. You ready for this? I went and saw his band. I saw his band perform in Philadelphia last month, a month and a half ago. It's called his band's name is Princess Goes, and he performed at Underground Arts here in Philly, which is like maybe 150 person venue, like it little tiny like cut spot, and I saw it come up and I was like, that's fucking Dexter. I'm like, I'm buying tickets to this. Like, I don't even know what kind of music this is, what it is, how it, whatever.
He's like, that's Dexter.
And rolled in, and dude, it was a really good show. He was actually, they were pretty good. I mean, a little cheesy maybe, but like he was a really good performer, really good singer. Thought it was funny to be standing 10 feet away from Dexter singing on stage, and I'm sure that 3/4 of the audience was there like me, that was just like, but it was that was my Dexter run in. What's his name? Michael C. Hall?
Hall. Yeah, Michael C. Hall.
Michael Hall, Anthony? Michael C.
No.
Okay. Yeah.
No, Anthony Michael Hall is the one from Weird Science.
Yes.
That's who you're thinking of. But the weird
just brush my mustache.
Here's what's weird. But I initially thought you were rubbing your mustache with licorice. It didn't.
Wow.
Again, that's my own personal shit happening up here.
Casey, what's going on back there?
Well,
keep your hands where I can see
so
them.
you want to know why I thought it was licorice? Because I have been known to spank and whip people with Twizzlers. So I saw you doing that, and it was like,
so we have a Twizzler fetish. Okay, so this is yes, you learn something new every day.
Did we? Did we? Things that I'm not sure how I feel. No, I'm just kidding. But
I like it. I'm a big fan.
I like being twizzled.
Yeah. I'm thinking like dungeon exhibit. Like it's
Listen,
you're right over by the dungeon in Jersey. You're right over by the dungeon in Jersey. The one and only time I did a class at EXXXOTICA, one of the things I demonstrated there was a pervertibles class. My top pervertible in that class was Twizzlers. Like I blew people's mind using Twizzlers, and I got you.
Twizzlers in
Listen,
my
if anybody
now,
from our team is watching, please take note of this. Add this to the Target shopping list.
But wait, if you're gonna do it, you gotta go all out. You gotta get regular Twizzlers. There's a Twizzler that looks like a linguine that's flat but it's thick, and then you gotta get the shoestring Twizzler, and you gotta experiment with all three.
But I see a contest. And the contest is, what can you do with the Twizzlers that is BDSM related? And then it's once you get into the Twizzlers, how do you get out of them? Which obviously
it sounds like a code of conduct. This sounds like a code of conduct violation. This is
never.
If eating Twizzlers is a code of conduct violation, then we have some problems.
If that employee is who's listening, if it's Dan, please note that the ladies are breaking the code of conduct.
No,
I have nothing to do with this.
We never do that, Dan.
I haven't been on the show for a year. I'm actually a plant by Dan.
And I got the perfect slogan. Twist up your style. Get twizzled by Casey Carter.
Twizzled.
I'm going to make the shirts that say I got twizzled by Boob Tube.
Okay. Get twizzled.
Casey's taking notes. Write that down. Yep.
Think I'm not.
To whom it may concern.
All people that participated in these activities were consensual.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wouldn't do anything without consent.
Right.
Consent is sexy. Let's just put that.
It was a consensual code of conduct violation.
Look. I had to eat my way out of the Twizzler.
Okay, see? Please.
Oh boy.
Let's just be clear. That wasn't me. That was her.
This is where I missed.
You snitch!
I missed not having the
look how
the
quick
sound
you threw me
effects.
under the bus.
I just wanted to be clear. I didn't say that. I might have thought things like that, but I didn't say it.
If you thought it, you participated.
If you smelled it, you dealt it.
Right.
Seriously.
Goodness. No Twizzlers were harmed in the making of this Boob Tubes video.
Well, I can't even guarantee that because I've demoed with Twizzlers and then had my consenting volunteer eat the Twizzlers.
We need Twizzlers to sponsor you, Casey. There we go.
I don't
Seriously, I don't. How have you not? How do we
get a sponsor?
I'm not really sure I can get that sponsorship.
I'm pretty sure Twizzlers would not want anything to do with that.
No, you know what you would get? A restraining order.
Wait.
A cease and desist, maybe? Yeah.
Wait,
cease and desist for sure.
But the candy people, you know, when you do the candy bracelets, they've got cuffs, they've got the ball gag, and those people now.
Well, and that's true, because I was going to say you need an off-brand who wants the exposure.
Like Hydrox.
Nobody fucking likes
Mr. Pibb.
Hydrox, okay?
Yeah, no. It'd be great.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
I
back
had
to
the
TV.
displeasure of eating Hydrox when I was growing up. Not because my mom bought it, but because I had a friend whose mom bought them. And all I kept thinking was, your mom doesn't love you.
Dude, you know what? I had a child parent moment where when I was a kid, my stepdad bought like this cereal in like a bag or whatever. I forgot what I remember what I called it, and I'm just not going to say it out loud. But it was just like not like, and he got so fucking pissed and like lost his mind, and I was like, "What's your problem, dude?" You know, whatever. Fast forward like 15 years later, 20 years later, I'm pushing a kid in a fucking, stroller through the grocery store, buying a bag of cereal because I'm like, this shit's like $3 cheaper. Like, how would I
way
not
cheaper?
buy this cereal, you know? Like, and that was the moment when I realized Fucko was an asshole. You know, like maybe I didn't know everything. Yeah.
Well, so the interesting thing
if he's watching, sorry, Mark. I was an asshole.
But let's just be honest. Cereal actually does come in a bag. That bag is just in a box.
And you pay $2-3 more for the fucking box because they had to do artwork.
Or 5 or 6. I mean, that's what's crazy. Like, bro, some cereal boxes, it's like $7 for a fucking box. You can get a bag, it's like twice as much for like the same.
And it's the exact same cereal. There's no difference. Like, just because it looks generic doesn't mean that there's any difference in if you taste it, it's exactly the same.
That part I wouldn't know. I'm gonna be honest.
I love cereal. Cereal's like what's your favorite cereal, Casey? Kari, what's your favorite cereal?
I'm actually a really big fan of Frosted Flakes.
Okay.
I'm Golden Grahams, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay, you're like a cinnamon. Yep, you're on the cinnamon side. What
I
about you,
also
Desiree?
like Captain Crunch
Cheerios.
Cheerios?
Yep.
Like straight Cheerios.
Straight Cheerios.
Yep. You put anything on it? You're from Canada. You put maple syrup on it?
Yellow box Cheerios. Yep.
Wait, tell me you put maple syrup on cereal? Because I
do.
Totally
I've done it before.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, no. Like, well, I mean, I always put it on like oatmeal and stuff, but like, I could totally see cereal.
You just take it out to the tree and like just let it drip on.
No, you reach your door or your hand out the window into the flowing maple rivers.
The creek.
It flows. It's a moat. It flows at 107 degrees, so it's always warm. And you know, you
just take your pancake and dip it in there.
It flows. I mean, it flows down through Vermont. It's that's the way that the maple syrup flows. So no, I can see putting syrup. My favorite, I think, is probably Fruity Pebbles.
Ooh.
I feel like it packs the most punch.
And
it's like when you get them and they're nice and wet, and you like in the milk, and like you get that one solid bite of just like the whole fruit.
But good. It takes no time for that to get mushy.
I kind of like the mush.
Really?
I mean, I think I eat it fast enough that it like doesn't
get mushy.
It's got like a minute and a half. You know what I mean?
So you're basically snorting the Fruity Pebbles.
Snorting, eating. Yeah, any orifice that I can take it, I do.
Wow, that turned left real quick.
Yeah.
In fact, my favorite donut at Voodoo, they have a Fruity Pebbles donut that's got the Fruity Pebbles on top.
I was gonna say, I've been to a few places with Fruity Pebble donuts.
The donut food truck that we had at 420 did Fruity Pebble ones.
Yeah, I like Fruity Pebbles. Whew, yeah. Okay. Now I'm hungry.
Right, so we're going back to TV. What else?
We're going back to TV. Okay, well we have to talk about the power finale.
Okay, you go right ahead. I'm gonna take this in. Go right ahead.
Has everybody seen the finale? I mean,
I've seen the finale. So here's my initial reaction. I enjoyed it, but I don't know why. I just wanted I wanted more, but I don't know. I enjoyed it. I just wanted
Well,
more.
you know there's going to be more. You know Kane's going to Chicago, right? To be with Tommy. He's going to link up with Tommy.
Ooh.
That's my prediction.
So that would be thoroughly interesting because
it would be.
Kane is not quite, he's not rap tight, but at the same time, I think if there was anything that would have disappointed me, it would have been if he had completely turned on his mother. So I was very happy to see him, you know, be 100% family, Monet, and all of that. But him and Tommy together, OMG, that would be off the chain. That would be really
something's gonna happen. I feel like they left a lot of, like, there were some things that they closed, but there were other things that they left open-ended. So I think that's my prediction, is that I don't know about Tariq, but I know Kane, it looks like Kane is going to Chicago.
The chi. The chai? The chi?
The shy.
The chai? The chi?
That's Chicago and Vietnamese.
Lord. Okay.
Look, Joey looks lost.
But how do we feel about, like, the things that happens? Like,
okay, so example, Anya's gone. Noma's gone.
So wait, so can we talk about the fact that they kidnapped the daughter, they take the daughter back to find out where Noma is, and then when they shot her right there in front of Noma, I was like, oh shit.
That was what's her, Diana? What's up, Jayla?
Yeah, that was kind of like, I don't even know what to say about that, because I'm like, you basically, this chick was not rap tight to begin with. You have now unleashed the beast for real by killing her daughter in front of her.
Well, they killed her too. She's
right,
gone.
but for me, it was the idea that you went that far, like you did this setup to find Noma, but you took her daughter out first. You know. I don't know. It just
who told Jay how to get into YouTube?
That was Desiree.
Someone let Jay loose in the chat. Yeah,
love it.
So I think it was just really, you know, I guess showing how Diana has evolved into the gangster she said she'd never be.
Monet Jr.
Yeah, MJ. So
I don't know. It like I said, for me it really felt like a season finale versus a series finale. So this fun fact is a little disturbing. I'm just saying.
How many brain cells does that leave us with then? I want to know. I got questions.
I thought we were talking about power, but apparently
we're not. This is what happens when Jay's not part of the conversation. He creates his own conversation.
Look, we're putting Jay on a flip phone. Jay is on flip phone punishment because
the flip phone of shame. Look, I'm gonna have to tell Lorenzo, because you know Lorenzo's on a flip phone, so I'm gonna have to tell Lorenzo. Technically,
poor Lorenzo.
Flip phone of shame, and he loves his flip phone. Let me just say that, loves his flip phone, and it is a newer flip phone, because the one he had when I met him was a, it was the flip phone of its day. But let me see, my daughter was born in 1999, so that phone that he had came out in like early 2000s, something like that. So that, yeah, and AT&T made him give his phone back. and gave him a new flip phone.
What do you mean made him give it back? I'd have kept it just for nostalgic purposes.
Yeah, it was useless. It was useless.
Yeah, but I'd still, it's like if I know now, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have kept the big one that used to have one of the first ones.
Yes.
Yeah, the bricks.
Yes.
I would have kept that shit. I would have kept my
you can
boom
buy
box.
you can buy those. You can actually like buy. They have them now. Like if you go on Amazon, you can put a SIM card into, and like they work for like they have like they have all kinds of like fucking stupid old phones that you kind of can do.
Yeah, I would have kept the big boom box. Who knew that would have been a nostalgic piece of history that I wish I'd have kept.
The problem is you would have kept it, and by now it wouldn't have been as fucking, it would just get beat up and played and whatever. They're probably still worth. Those boom boxes were everything back then.
Well, mine was missing the front of the tape deck.
The cover.
So I remember I had the dual cassettes. And I would tape Casey Kasem's Top 40 on Sunday morning. And then I would splice it together, and I'd put the tape in, and you'd like hit play and record at the same time, and we'd go, and then you'd like stop it at the end, and then you put a little space in between, and then you put the next song. So you basically could make like your greatest hit song or albums of the week.
Right.
And so
that's amazing.
I would kill to have those old tapes. I have they're
me too.
Gone.
I used to record midnight love jams when the guy would come on with a deep voice and he'd be like, "It's 12 o'clock. Are you?"
Did you guys do the radio, like the Love Line shit at night where you'd be like, "Hey, Jay from St. Johnsbury is sending his love to Miss Becky," and then it blows into like Firehouse, Love of a Lifetime, or something ridiculous.
No, it always started out with Art of Noise. Dun, dun,
yes.
Dun, dun,
yes.
dun,
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yep.
And so, listen, I called so many times over the course of like a year, and I had different people, and they would be like, "Ma'am, Kari. Last week it was Tom. This week it's Dick. Next week it'll be Harry. Can you stop calling?" And I would just call just to get on just to be on the radio. Like sometimes there was nobody. It was just hearing myself on the radio, and I would wait because sometimes they don't do it right away. And because when you would call in, they would be like hold, and then when they would get to put you on the line to go live, and I'd wait to record it, so I'd be like, hurry up and record, and then they'd be like, beep, you're on 92.7, blah 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 blah, who's on the line? And I'd be like, Kari, who do you want to give a shout out to? And I'd be like, I want to dedicate Make It Last Forever to so and so. So I'd record it, then I get off.
Do you remember? It was always it's a very distinct age, right? It's like that middle school to like early high school, middle school to early high school. And that was the thing, like call into the radio station to try and win shit. You call in to like do all the things, like caller number 7 gets, I want a Madonna erotica cassette. If that's not telling as to like what I would go on to do, like that. I remember I was like 11, 12 or some shit.
I won tickets to a concert and couldn't get the tickets because I wasn't 18.
Like so I remember
so they were like, why
I got that cassette, they mailed it to me, and I got it in the mail, and my parents were like, and then that was in Madonna's like horny naked phase, like,
Truth or Dare, the Truth or Dare tour,
like not the like desperately horny naked that she like seems to
where she was exploring with men and women.
Oh, dude, she was so hot in some of that shit, man. Vogue, like, it's so crazy to see her now because Madonna was a bad bitch back in the day. Like she as a kid growing up, watching that, between that and the JCPenney's catalog, good day. I'm done. Like it's
the Pennies catalog.
Okay.
Oh my
I
god!
I have
Of
mean,
all
I
catalogs,
have
just
an
the Pennies.
idea.
I was from Vermont. It was that or maple syrup,
Listen, I have an idea. We should do a nostalgic booth of like old history, and there should be a JCPenney catalog.
See, so if it were
or
me,
the old Victoria's Secret pamphlets,
that's
like,
what
or
I
the
was gonna
things that.
say. That's what I was gonna say. If it were me, it would be the old Victoria's Secrets with the bathing suits and the whatnot.
it,
Yeah.
my power move, because when I was in like middle school, we did like magazine drives, and I would call all my relatives and like sell them magazine subscriptions, and you would get prizes and whatever. Well, my aunt, I sold a subscription to my grandmother who was blind. Who I
That's
called
fucked
I
up.
called I
First and
called her to
foremost,
sell
that's
her
fucked up.
uh,
Okay,
I
blind
sold her a
grandma and a magazine
subscription,
subscription.
and she
What
she
to
gave
what?
it to me. She's like, you know what? You sign up for whatever you'd like to sign up for, and like I
Playboy.
had a couple of other
They support
relatives that were
you.
just like, yeah, you can sign. Well, you couldn't get Playboy, but in one shot, I subscribed to. I think it was like Details magazine. It was
Uh-huh.
there was something like before Maxim, but there was something before that. That was really kind of like
So like Sports
push the
Illustrated,
envelope,
maybe.
and then of course Sports Illustrated, because
Okay.
that once a year would
That
give you
swimsuit
the
issue.
Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, and
Mm-mm-mm.
that made the whole year worth it. Like that, done. Like that, it didn't matter what it cost. That one magazine was worth the year.
That's worth it.
So yeah, thank you, Granny, for
Bless.
the
Indulgence.
Details magazine subscription.
I am
I
through.
really
He
appreciate
said
it.
she was blind. Yeah, I got you TV Guide and
R.I.P.
Reader's Digest.
Yeah, it's
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
that's what she would have said.
I believe it. I
Okay,
believe it.
listen, we're down to like our last 7 minutes. So Jay,
Okay.
for the
Yes.
folks who are coming to Exotica and the folks who are teetering the fence about coming to Exotica, what would you say to them to get the folks
Entice
to either
them.
buy their ticket or be first in line?
I could take the usual route of hundreds of performers. Our show floor is completely sold out. Taomi and her seminar schedule is fucking crazy. This show is packed to the gills. But like that's honestly, Jersey's been that for a year, 2 years, 3, I don't know, a long time coming. What I would say is, I think that if you're in the New Jersey area, from New Jersey, you should be taking a real pride in being the largest show that Exotica does. The Jersey has always been the driver of every show. That said, this has happened the last 2 years. Chicago at the beginning of this year blew past what Jersey did last year.
No
So
way.
if ever there was, listen, we can talk about baseball and Subway Series. Please God, don't make it a Subway Series. Like this is the one thing I'm praying for. But like, it's really Chicago versus New York and New Jersey now, and like if you have to go to Exotica if you have pride in your state. Fucking go to Exotica. That's the way to show your pride, because I've never seen Jersey at the end of the year not be the biggest show that we've ever done.
Right.
And Chicago this year, you guys, for case you saw Kari, were you in Chicago this year?
No, I haven't been to any of them this year.
Oh, dude, Chicago was fucking insane.
Chicago was great.
And so all of that said, this show is amazing. Like, all the different programs that we have in it. The dungeon has been continually rethought. We have the all access dungeon pass that, like, we have an entire back area. It's way more private and cool, and like we have a second group that helps run it. And so, you know, it's been, you know, just a really cool addition. The couples X side of it, the lifestyle side of it is blown up. Like it's they're selling twice as many tickets every year for you know the lifestyle programs, and that shit is cool. And Richard Cassidy and those guys, you know, are unbelievable partners in that stuff. You know, the stage is jammed. You know, you know our crew. Obviously, Dan, you know, Dan the man, Britt when it comes to the stage and all the floor ops and all of that stuff. Alex on the sales side of it, Chelsea keeping all of us kind of going, you know, or having to deal with all of us, I think is probably more her job title. And we have a new graphic designer, Kat, who will be there. And so like, you know, we have a group of us, and it's always good to get everybody back together. And the shit is, Jersey's our hometown. You know, we're in Philly, so it's or Dan's in Jersey. So it's really cool to be able to pop. Plus, we were up there for 420, what, month and a half ago.
Yep.
And yeah, it's going to be a big one. We already said we're using more square footage on this floor than we've ever used before. So
wait, did you say
monster.
more square footage than ever before?
This is the most square footage of any show we've ever used. It's 8-foot aisles, and the building is as full as it can get.
So Jersey was my very first Exotica. Literally, very first Exotica. And I decided to go because I had actually gone to Sex Expo, and one of your former sponsors had a booth at Sex Expo. I made friends with some of the content creators there, and they were like, "Oh, you gotta go to Exotica." And so Lorenzo and I show up to New Jersey, and I have to admit, I walked around, like I was impressed with Sex Expo and all these people in one space, but I walked around Jersey and was like, what
Whoa.
the fuck?
Yeah.
No, like, no other show compares. No. Other, I can't say it enough. Like New Jersey, I mean, Exotica just has a vibe that's unmatched.
Yeah.
The Jersey brings it. And it's funny because it forever has. The very first show that we ever did in Edison was around all kinds of heat from moving from Secaucus and blah blah blah.
I remember.
And we put our show into a third of that exhibit hall. Like, I mean, the whole thing stuffed in.
Wow.
And it was 1 in, 1 out with capacity for people for the show the entire weekend. Wow. Because all of the media coverage and the interest just blew it through the roof, you know. And so it went crazy. And every year since then, Jersey just keeps banging them out, you know. And so that's why, again, Chicago came out of nowhere. In the last 2 years, that show has gotten huge, and it, you know, it should be. It's fucking Chicago, right?
It's Chicago.
But like, you know, Edison it's still, you know, our home show. And even though I, you know, pick on Dan about being from New Jersey, and he picks on me about being from Philadelphia, and you know, it's always nice to come back to Philly and do our thing, and then on to DC and do it all over again.
My backyard.
I can't tell you, just I feel like when I think about the fact that the way I stumbled into Exxxotica, because even when I showed up to my first Exxxotica, I hung out in that sponsor's booth. I didn't realize I was supposed to be affiliated with the sponsor, but nobody told me otherwise. They let me hang out, so I did.
Because they didn't know.
No,
they got so many. They have so many people at their booth. They don't know.
So, but it was that experience that really made me love Exxxotica before I was even connected to the extent that I am now, because that sponsor and everybody in that booth was so welcoming. And then the show itself, it felt like I was at a gigantic family reunion, because everybody there was like me, and you know, wanted to experience the same things I did, and there was nothing that I could say or do that would embarrass me or, make me feel any shame. And it was an amazing experience. And it's, only gotten even better because my favorite thing to talk about are the seniors, the folks that are technically geriatric that come to these shows, and watching them walk around the showroom floor. Like, those are my favorite attendees. Not the young folks, but the folks who are like great grandparents. Those are my favorite attendees, because it just tells you sex is something we were meant to do until we can't breathe anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? And seeing those people, seeing folks
now imagine them with licorice.
Okay.
This is their Twitter.
Seeing folks who are who have physical challenges show up to Exxxotica and show up consistently. I've seen several folks who have physical challenges that are regulars every year in Jersey, and I love that, because again,
dude, how about Blind Jay? He's from Manhattan. He gets on the bus and he fucking finds his way to the New Jersey Expo Center. He comes. I do have a conspiracy. I think he has it better than most people when he walks into our show, because he walks up to every single girl and he's like, "Oh, hey," he can spot them every time, but like he's. You know what? If that's the trade-off, let Jason's hands fly freely.
You know who
Jason, where does Jason live? Jason, you're not coming to Exxxotica, New Jersey? What's up?
Because he just bought a new house.
We'll cover your ticket. We got you. You just gotta get there.
Jason, you heard that,
right? You can't miss it now.
Into Exxxotica if you get there.
I got you, dog. You're an all-inner for life, first, so you're
okay. You all heard it. Jason is in life.
Like, that's Jason. You're my man, dog.
And I'm sure, Jay, you have to know, every so often Jason will post in our chat, tell Jay I said hi, tell Jay I'm buying a house, tell Jay, tell Jay, and tell Jay.
Congratulations on the house, Jason. It's a big life achievement. One of the better things that somebody can do. White picket fence, I'm sure.
Okay, well, that being said, we are actually over our time, and therefore that means it's time for those pink boxes. But first, our Exxxotica promo, Kari.
Woo! Woo! Only 2 weeks away, October 25th to the 27th in the wonderful Edison, New Jersey. Come to Ladies Free Friday. Yes. Make sure you get your tickets at EXXXOTICA.com, Ladies Free Friday. And of course, December 6th through the 8th in Washington, D.C. Yay!
Yay! They really need to give the guests the opportunity to hit audio too. Everybody should have their own buttons. I feel like I've come into battle and I'm completely unarmed. This is tough.
There you go.
Okay, wait, I gotta squeeze you in. Here we go. Okay.
Look, because
there you go.
If that was to happen, Jay, we would never say anything because all we would hear is.
Okay, wait. So
listen, I more farting noises. Okay. Matt Damon. Yes.
That was nostalgic. Yeah. Don't forget Smash.
By the way, I like the Halle Berry change. Way better than
Sam.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah, we retired him.
Yeah,
we retired him. It's now
and not just any Halle Berry. 007 James Bond.
No, that was one of the Halles.
Almost naked.
And
make sure you follow us.
Not quite swordfish.
Quite swordfish. Right. Close enough though.
Make sure you follow us on our pink boxes. And of course, keep it locked right here on EXXXOTICA.tv. Subscribe, like, follow, share, comment, do all the things. If you're on Twitter, you can do that too. And make sure you come to see us next week, same time, same bat channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Back to you, Casey.
All right, y'all.
Bye,
See you next week. Oh, that reminds me. No show next week.
Oh, shit.
Bye.
Bye.
That's right. That's right.